Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Sierra Kaz. Thanks for stopping by if you're new to my channel, and if you're already subscribed, thanks for tuning back in and supporting me. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the books that I'm currently reading during this quarantine. And also I would say this is more of like a 2020 book haul. Before this year started, I really challenged myself to read a lot more. I feel like this is a habit that has kind of slipped through over the years for me, so I challenged myself to grab some books that I'm interested in, topics that I like, topics that I think could better my life. And yeah, so today I have a few recommendations of books that I am reading this year, and also just like during this quarantine, during this tough time, things that are like keeping me motivated, helping me become a better person. So a lot of these are for personal growth, you know, just becoming a better person, developing good habits, and achieving your goals. So if you're interested in what recommendations I have, stay tuned, and I hope you like this video and subscribe. And so I personally really like to read print books more than ebooks, because when I read an ebook, I usually like sometimes get distracted. Like for example, if there is a word that I don't understand, or if something like a topic, an interesting topic is talked about that I'm not familiar with, I like find myself going on Google and then or social media, and then I lose track. So I really like the idea of like reading like an actual paper book and like disconnecting from the screen, from the phone, and I think like for me that has really been amazing. Like it's just like been a game changer for me. So not to waste any more time, I am going to tell you guys the first book that I am reading. So the first book that I picked up is Rich Dad Poor Dad. This one, this is such a classic. Like I read this book when I think I was in like middle school or something like that. Like when I was, yes, I started reading this book when I was like much younger, and I feel like right now reading it as an adult, the concepts make a lot of sense. So if this is a book that you've never read or are not familiar with, or you read when you're a bit younger, I definitely recommend to grab it and read. It just tackles like financial literacy, explores concepts of making money work for you, passive sources of income like investments, stocks, starting a business, and just like really improving your financial intelligence. I think this is such a great introduction to just like financial literacy. Like if you're interested in getting your finances together, just like getting educated with money, how to work with money, how to have different streams of income, I think this is such a great introduction to financial literacy. I haven't finished the book, but I'm pretty far in, but yeah, this is one book that I think is a must to have in your book collection or whatever. The next book that I actually picked up is Heart and Hustle. This one is by another amazing, very successful YouTuber. Her name is Patricia Bright. She is based, I think, in the UK, and she has about close to 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Very successful woman of color, black woman, killing it. Her content is amazing and just like all-round badass, and that's what she explores in this book. You know, as an upcoming YouTuber, I really wanted to like kind of get into Patricia's mind and see, you know, how she started, what her journey has been, and she really delivers that in this book. She gives you tips and insights on, you know, her journey, how she succeeded to create the brand that she has, not just with YouTube but all her different social media platforms and all the different business investments that she has. And I feel like I can really identify with Patricia, you know, myself being a black woman. I feel like a lot of the lessons and things she talks about really resonate with me, and it's very inspiring as someone who also wants to really like build a brand and have something of myself. So this is a book, and I also picked it up because I really wanted to support her, and it's amazing. It's such a great read, very motivating, very encouraging. Yeah, and she also like kind of talks about her childhood, you know, growing up, and then, you know, pretty much moving from having a 9-to-5 corporate job to fully becoming a full-time YouTuber. So it's so good, so insightful. I actually read all of it, and I really like it. So absolute, if you want to be a badass, this is the book you need to read. So I love this book and definitely recommend. This is a book that I feel like I'm always going to go back to. You know, it's not the kind of book that you read and you're done. It's one that you always have certain pages that you're going to go back and reference. So I really love this book, Heart and Hustle. Thank you so much, Patricia, for writing this. So yeah, I love it. Heart and Hustle, go get it. Cool. So guys, the next one, this one, as you'll see, all the books that I have, the theme is really self-help, self-development, and just like all around becoming a better person. This one is quite special. This is quite a popular book, very popular. Like, I remember, like, when I'm on the train going to work, I see everyone reading it on social media. So many influencers, so many people just like reading it. And I mean, obviously it's by Michelle Obama. This is her book, Becoming. It's a memoir of her life, you know, growing up, finding her voice. Man, I'm literally like just a few pages in, and I really love the way this book is written. It's like I'm just like, I would love to know how this project came to be, because the details she gives, you know, growing up, the dynamics of her family, her brother, her mom, her dad, you know, like growing up as a black kid, you know, in that era, like the era that she grew up. It's so, you really feel like you're right there with her. Like, it's so amazing. And also, again, you know, being a black woman as well, I identify so much with this, with, you know, just like her story, her journey. Like, it's so inspiring, so empowering, and I'm just really excited to like dig deep. It's quite big. Dig deep and like see you know, all the lessons that she has to offer, and like kind of learn from her journey, you know, from pretty much coming from nothing, you know, her family, to, you know, going to, you know, college, succeeding, becoming the first lady, you know, her life in the White House, and, you know, and just also transitioning from that life as well. So this is, I think, a book that, I mean, based on the reviews, it's such an amazing read. Powerful book. I think also, not I think, actually Netflix is also releasing a documentary on this book. I saw a little trailer of it, so I'm really excited. I need to finish this before I watch the documentary. So yeah, definitely go grab yourself Becoming by Michelle Obama. It's a great book that I think everyone, at least every woman, every black girl should read. So I love this book. The next book is A Return to Love. Oh my god, I am currently reading this book, and if I would say one word to describe it, at least how I feel, my thoughts on this book, I would say transforming, life transforming. This book, when you read it, at least when I'm reading it, I feel like I'm having a session with my therapist, you know. I feel like literally having a session with a therapist, or like a guardian angel. Okay, so this was recommended by another YouTuber called Shad Batal, and I think she had a video about self-care and all of that, and she mentioned this book, and I was like, I'm intrigued to get it, because I'm familiar with her work from one of that, I don't know if you're familiar with, it's really a very popular quote, and I think I first heard it in the movie Aquila and the Bee. The quote, it goes something like, our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate, our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure, something like that. I'll put the quote here. And I think in Aquila and the Bee, they attributed that quote to Nelson Mandela, but actually the quote is from this book. This was actually published in 1992. Crazy, if I was even born. But yeah, so this book is transforming. Like, she tackles concepts about like self-worth, relationships, self-esteem, you know, living from a space of love, finding your purpose in this world. Like, it's such a great book. Like, she talks about the concept of the ego, and how the ego doesn't want us to succeed, and how the ego is always sabotaging us, and how we need to believe in ourselves. But I really love this book. I would say it does have a lot of biblical references, or like it's especially even the beginning chapters, it's very biblical, you know, so if you're probably not Christian, maybe it might turn you off a little bit, but I think regardless of religion, I think this, you know, as long as you believe in something like a higher power or something like that, I think this is such a great read, and for me it's absolutely transforming my life. I'm almost done with it. The chapters that I really love and I think are really reside with me are the one on miracles and then the other one on relationships. Like, I love it. Like, it tackles relationships with yourself, relationships with your parents, you know, like tackling things about like childhood trauma, not receiving love from your parents, how you tackle that. Yeah, so it's such a great read, you know, romantic relationships, work, you know, and the whole idea of, you know, like regardless what kind of job you have, you're there to give love and heal the world. But yeah, I really love this book, and I think for someone, if you know, if you're just like struggling with finding your purpose in life and all of that, I think this is a book to pick up, and it's just very uplifting, and it just really opens your eyes and helps you see the world in a different way, and also see your life in a different way. So yeah, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. So those actually were the first 3 books that I picked up. Like I think I picked them up end of last year, and then after that I just kept buying more books so I can read more. The next book that I bought was Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear. This is also definitely another self-development book, also another one recommended by another YouTuber, Amanda Arackley. She does like doodles and stuff. She's she's such a great artist. But yeah, I have not finished this book as well, but yeah, I'm very excited, you know, because I, as an artist myself, you know, I do struggle with fear, you know, like being afraid, how will people receive my content, you know, putting yourself out there. So I really picked this up to kind of like get you know, tips on how to overcome fear, how to be a creative, and you know, work from a space of confidence and all of that. So yeah, this is a book that I would definitely also recommend to pick up. Yeah. The next one that I picked up is The Compound Effect. So this one, as you can hear, The Compound Effect, he actually gives an example of like, it's like a mathematical thing. I'll probably maybe insert like a little table here. For example, there's this whole idea, for example, if someone was to give you $3 million US today, or if someone was to give you the option of getting a penny, and that penny was doubled every day for, I think, for 3 months or a month, actually a month. And the idea is that by the end of a month, you'll actually have $10 million compared to $3 million. And at first, you know, when he talks about that concept, I was like, no, I'll take $3 million. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive in a month or whatever. But I don't know, like the whole idea of the compound effect is so powerful. And imagine relating that to life, like the little habits, the everyday things that we do lead, they lead to our success or our failure. So I really like the whole idea of the compound effect, because I'm a firm believer in that my actions will lead to, you know, me. Like, you don't just wake up and boom, you're successful, you know. It's the little decisions you make every day, the actions you take every day. So this is also another book that I really want to harness on that concept of the compound effect. And this one is by Darren Hardy. So another book that I would say is definitely a must-have is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I've actually had this book for years. I love Tony Robbins' work. I feel like for me, Tony Robbins is that kind of motivational speaker that even like just watching a YouTube video of his, I always feel uplifted. Like his words, he just has that gift. Like the things he says, his you know, the principles that he talks about, they're just like really transforming. So this is Awaken the Giant Within. It's quite a read, pretty big. I don't even think I've really ever finished it. I think I just go little by little and try to apply the concepts as I go. But yeah, it's, you know, still like, you know, like self-development, building habits that can help you achieve your goals and also be successful. So yeah, that's Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within. The next book is The Secret. This one is like, it's probably one of the most popular concepts, ideas of our generation, and this is like the law of attraction. You probably watched the film. Just like basically your thoughts create your reality, what you think about creates your life, and I really personally believe in The Secret and believe in the law of attraction, because I remember just like really struggling with really bad depression. And when I got introduced to The Secret, to the idea of the law of attraction, it completely transformed my life. I started working on how I think, my negative thinking, and and then I started creating positive things in my life because I changed how I think. So I think if you've never heard of The Secret or you've never heard of the law of attraction, this is something I would recommend everyone in the world like gets introduced to. Yeah, so The Secret, it's also one of those books where you read it and then you mark pages and pages and topics that make sense to you, that resonate with you, and reference it as much as you can. So yeah, that's The Secret. In line with that, the next book is The Alchemist. I actually meant to talk about this after Becoming. Absolute classic. It's been recommended by so many successful figures such as Oprah, Will Smith, Pharrell. I first heard about The Alchemist, I think from a Will Smith interview, where the interviewer asked him about him being an icon, and he said, I believe in the alchemist, the whole concept of the alchemist, that you truly can become whatever you want, that when you want something, all of the universe conspires to help you achieve it. And this is such a very simple read, like it's like a parable, a tale. It talks about this little young shepherd named Santiago, who is in search of a treasure, and then I think in the end he finds out that the treasure he was searching for was all along within himself. So this is a great book if you're struggling also with like finding your purpose, figuring out your purpose in life, and just like achieving your goals, knowing that there is a higher power, that that the universe always has your back, and the universe is always supporting you in whatever you want to achieve. So this book has a lot of wisdom in it, and it's such a small book, so you can really read this pretty quick. Also, another one that I would say that you just mark down pages that resonate with you and like go back to it. So the last book, I actually wasn't really planning to include this, but I was like, why not? This is Silhouette. It has actually a really beautiful cover, which I have hung on my wall because it's so pretty. But yeah, this is Silhouette by Lupita Nyong'o, and this is more of a children's book, but I wish I read this when I was young. And it basically talks about the whole idea of colorism, which is like a real thing, like how, for example, like dark skin, the struggle of like not being seen as beautiful, and we see this all in the media and all of that. And this is such a great empowering book, and I think every black kid should read this to just like know their identity, to know that they're beautiful and all of that. So I really love this book. So cute, really pretty. So yeah, that's Silhouette. But yeah guys, so yeah, that is it. As you can see, it's quite a lot. But yeah, I'm really excited that I'm getting back into reading about things that are going to help me become a better person, and that's something I hope for myself in 2020, to just become more enlightened, to improve my habits, like even the financial literacy stuff, to improve my finances and all of that. And it's like when you work on yourself, that's like the biggest investment that you can make, the investment in yourself. So I'm very excited for everything that for all these books. I haven't finished them, I'm such a slow reader. But yeah, these are my book recommendations. Let me know if there is any book in here that you are also reading, or you've read, or that you're excited about. yeah, let me know if you have any other book recommendations, even like novels and stuff. I would love to read some novels and whatever. So yeah, if you have some other recommendations, let me know. But yeah, those were my book recommendations that I'm reading right now during this quarantine, and then also just like all of 2020, and I'm probably gonna keep buying more books. But yeah, so that's it guys. Not to ramble any longer. I hope you like this video. I hope you like my recommendations. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these books. But yeah, otherwise I hope you like this video, subscribe, join the channel, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for the support. Mwah, mwah, mwah.